Hello and welcome on 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Joining me to talk sport is Ikena Okonkwo. Good to have you, Ikena.
Thank you so much, Adeni.
Good one there. Starting from the home scene, well, we have to talk about Nigeria, but though it has to be with the whole Africa and even the whole world. Looking at this particular laser light at competitions, it happened at the AFCON and now it happens at the WAFCON. Laser lights on footballers, it happens in Europe, World Cup, a lot of events that laser light has become a norm right now, that they point at players. Mo Salah was there at AFCON and all the lights went on his face. We have our own Nigerian international who actually, she was being laced with that particular laser light there. You can see her. This is not too good for football. Why is FIFA, why is CAF not talking? Why is CONBAL or CONCACAF not talking? It seems they are actually accepting that this is a part of football culture. We'll be talking on this particular topic. Laser light on footballers. Look, this particular incident is becoming so rampant these days, especially when the competition gets to semi-finals, finals, where that's the decider. You see a lot of spectators, fans getting their laser lights pointed at their maybe star player or each of the players on the pitch, which is not too good.
I wouldn't understand. Sometimes there are some antics probably that follow all of this. You know, especially from the WAFCON, I just concluded WAFCON that a lot of technical controversies emerged from talking about how the referees manage some matches, leave so much to be desired. So I wouldn't know if this particular laser light stuff is part of any form of antic to derail a particular team, especially through any player that seems to be towering higher. You know, there are some insinuations in some quarters that Super Falcons suffered some of this technical, tactical stuff to make sure that they don't get the 10th title. I wouldn't know. That is not confirmed anyway. However, it should be something that, like CAF usually, not CAF, before CAF, FIFA, they usually try to, you know, look at things that happen, find a way to adjust. I believe that adjustment should be done in this regard as well.
Now, so looking at the adjustments you mentioned, is it that they cannot just trying to be like, okay, any team or any fans of any team doing this is going to be the penalty? Because if they make it very big one, that maybe you will they will penalize your team or something, people will stop it.
Of course.
Because now that they are quiet or they are taking it with levity, it's actually gathering more momentum. Almost all the competitions. We saw Lionel Messi there playing for Argentina. You saw Mo Salah there. You saw a lot of, both for men and women competitions, where you see these athletes being pointed at so that they cannot perform their duty, because when the laser lights on their faces, they won't be able to know what they want to do. It will affect their sight and they won't be able to perform. This is getting too common.
And when they wouldn't perform as it's expected at that particular moment, the fans, I mean, their own fans, wouldn't know the particular reason at that moment. It is afterwards that maybe media reports will start coming up and pointing all of this out. So it's something that I believe FIFA should be able to look into very urgently. I mean, very urgently, because every other aspect of fans, rascality, you know, has been addressed in the past by some FIFA. I believe this should not leave them. I mean, it shouldn't skip them just that way.
Shouldn't skip them. Well, just so that FIFA, CAF, and all the bodies of football can actually come together to make sure they correct this anomaly. It's becoming a big one. It's affecting footballers. Whenever events actually get to maybe semi-final or final, you see this laser light coming up as if it was not the same fans that were at the stadium for the group stages. But now it's becoming a bad norm that we really need to work on. FIFA, we need to do something. A big penalty should be sent out to those actually doing this, all the spectators or fans of all the clubs or countries that have actually peddled this bad character against footballers. It has to stop. We'll be looking at laser light, focusing on that particular issue. And now let's talk about WAFCON 2022, where our coach, Randy Waldrum, hints at on younger players joining Super Falcons. Well, a lot of people actually pointed out before they moved to Morocco that the team is aging. And really, it's obvious. It was very, very obvious that we have an aging team, more than 6 or 7 players, and maybe first 11 are old players. And we just have to do something. Not that outrightly remove all of them, but we need to begin integrating the young players right now, coming from Waldrum. But somebody asked a question, when he nailed this, why did you pick them to a WAFCON?
It is unfortunate. I don't even know.
After we lost, that's when he now knows that we're supposed to pick young players.
The coach and his crew, seem to have used Falcons to learn some ropes, which shouldn't be at this level. I mean, this man has a pedigree of coaching a university team. I had never coached or experienced a team that could play at this level. A university team is just an amateur team. It's just a team that is upcoming.
And we picked him as our
It's just
coach.
a team that can't face any serious competition anywhere outside, maybe within the university or school system. Now we got him. We've had, and to make matters worse, he's not a Nigerian. He is a foreign person, tactician or coach that we expected that should even be better scientifically or tactically than the couriers of this country, the current coach of Rivers Angel. The current coach of Nasarawa. I can't remember the name right now. Chris Danjuma. And Edwin Okon of Rivers Angels, and all of them there. I mean, look at Mado, Coach Mado, who was an assistant at some point and was touted. I was pointed, tipped to take over at some point and become the head coach because of the pedigree she had both as playing as a player with Falcons and of course playing outside Nigeria and receiving his coaching license and of course experience in faraway Sweden, coaching teams that are at that elite level. I mean, those that are football leading body in NFF, they chose to go and bring a greenhorn who used our team to learn the rope of what elite football requires.
And coupled with the fact that some years back, he rejected Nigeria.
He rejected Nigeria.
And they went back to him. Why? Is he the only person?
It doesn't even make sense. How can somebody that is not a coach that is well experienced reject a country like Nigeria with so many talents? I mean, in female football, we have so many coaches that we could point at. There are over 7 of them that if you begin to mention now, they are all over the place. So why go for a foreign coach? All the while that we won the championship, we had won it with a local coach, so to say, a Nigerian coach. So look at what the young man is now saying. And look at the kind of changes he made all the while. Look at the kind of first 11 he rolled out. I mean, come back to Nigeria. All the while, the Women League in Nigeria, NWFL, Nigeria Women Football League, has been producing those that made us proud at the continental level. And then moving to the world level, they made some impact. The Onomes, the Oshualas, Ajibades, all of them came from this league. It was when they played outside there that they were seen by clubs and they were picked. So when they are aging, or when they have done so much as they could do at their twilight, at the peak level before getting to why not get back to that same league and get them? There are some good girls, even on the 20 level, that are already spectacular. And then there are ones that are coming up from under 17. If you go to the league proper, you get better defenders down. The Ayinde and all those people that are already weak with their legs that this man used. So how do you explain this? That this man didn't understand what to do before the tournament. He only understood what to do after the tournament, and he's talking about it. So who do you blame? Blame him? Blame the NFF? I don't know what kind of racket they used him to actualize or to achieve or to do. It is only them that can understand, that could explain, because they are the only one that understand this. And this coach, well, I don't want to blame him. Somebody hired him.
He didn't bring himself to Nigeria.
He didn't bring himself to this place. In fact, they begged him, they forced him literally to come, having rejected, so to say, to come in
the whole Nigeria.
Time. So the NFF owes Nigeria the responsibility of apologizing, number one, and explaining what led to this failure.
But the fact is that they won't do that.
It's
Because
their shame.
they just believe that, okay, WAFCON is gone, let's do, okay, you can see now, he's already hinting on bringing on young players. What happened that he did bring them on before this tournament?
So they will use the tournament actually to gain that experience before the World Cup.
Now, the question somebody asked, if he had won the tournament, if he had been able to bamboozle his way and they won the tournament, would he have said this?
No way.
You would have, by now, oh, my teams are the best. In fact, I picked the best, and the best have done the work. And it will be the same set of players that he will take to World Cup. Because if you had won this competition with these players, we are not blaming the player for the fact that they have been picked, but the coach picked them.
Yeah.
And whoever is at the helm of affairs will pick the list for Nigeria. But what we are saying is it now that after the fallout at WAFCON, that your eyes are now open that, oh, you have aging players, and now say you're going to bring on young players to infuse into that particular squad?
He only went to learn. And of course, he's telling us what he was able to learn
now,
from.
if I should ask you this question, do you think this man should take us to World Cup?
It's left for NFF to tell us who will take us to the World Cup. Because as a matter of fact, from what he has exhibited, he's not fit for anything.
World Cup is another level. So
in World Cup, we sometimes find a way to work ourselves out of the group. With this man, I don't think we can even win any of the group matches. Compare
ourselves against the way towards how these Norwegians, France, Denmark, US play football.
I mean,
like men.
How do you explain? What do you expect?
Hopefully, something going to be done concerning this team, Nigeria. That's Falcons, Super Falcons will be going to the World Cup in Australia and New Zealand 2023. And now that the WAFCON is over, the coach, Randy Waldrum, saying, well, he will be bringing on young players to join that squad. But that's if he's allowed to continue, because from the way it is, Nigerians are not happy with this development. NFF, Nigerian Football Federation, they need to do something concerning this. If we are to do well at the world level, we managed to get to 4th position in this tournament. We managed to actually get the ladies play their hearts out. A lot of issue of not being paid their due allowances, the issue of a lot of things here and there that happen, and now we will be going to a World Cup. Let's see what NFL will be doing concerning the issue of who takes them to the World Cup, and also the players that they will be showcasing for the Mundial that has to do with women coming up in Australia, New Zealand. Now, let's move away from soccer. Let's talk about beach volleyball. Nigeria named squad for 2022 African Championship that will be coming up in Agadir, Morocco. Well, good one. We have some volleyballers that will be playing beach volleyball for Nigeria, both male and female. And quickly, let's look at that list. They are ready for all of them. We have, quickly, we have Obayemi Ogunshina, Simon Hillary, Emenike Ezike, Uchenna, Augustine for men. The 4 of them will be playing for Nigeria, while the women's team includes Albertina Francis, Happiness Uchilang, Esther Umba, and you have Rafiat Mustafa. The 8 players, both men and women, they will be playing for Nigeria the competition, TAG 2022 African Beach Volleyball Championship, coming up in Agadir, Morocco. Well, from the way it is, our teams actually, they are ready. They want to play in this tournament, and they want to do well for Nigeria. But what we are looking at, although they've been playing, they've been in camp, of just so that they'll be able to do something big.
Yeah, beach volleyball, anchored by the Nigerian Volleyball Federation, has come of age in Nigeria to an extent, especially at the African level, dominating proceedings. This is what you expect when you have leadership that is focused, anchored by Engineer Musa Nimrod. That young man, that man, whether you want to see him as a young person or someone that is advanced, he is passionate about what he's doing. And this is their own championship, continental, highest championship at the continental level. They are just like it happens for, in football, you have the AFCON and then the ALCON or WAFCON. So they are going for their own AFCON and ALCON.
There's both sides.
So don't just want to expect anything less than emerging victorious in that particular tournament. And I'm optimistic, particularly, that they will come back home with some goodies.
And when you talk about beach volleyball or volleyball in Nigeria, really, as you said, that federation seems to be one of these federations that can actually stand out.
Yeah.
You won't hear any issue of maybe payment or event. They be in camp at the right time. They do this. So I love the fact that the beach volleyball, the volleyball federation, working assiduously to see how Nigeria can actually do well in this competition. Now they leave their list. The competition will be starting today. And then it will end till August 2nd or thereabout. But I love the fact that they deem it fit. So when you watch TV and you see people playing beach volleyball, you'll be like, oh, so we actually play this too in Nigeria. And really, we have beaches where they can practice at least. And now they've been doing that. And we pray and believe that Team Nigeria will actually do well.
Yeah, it's quite like what to expect. He talked about the particular sport not expressing what we see in football most of the time. It's not as if federal government does anything different for them. It is because they have a focused leadership. At the time I was saying, can there be a swap?
They should take over the football.
No, truly.
Okay.
If that ever happens,
Nigerian football will go places.
Football, do you know how much Nigerian football makes every year? From sponsorship deals and all of that.
And yet our football is like this.
Those men that are administering it will not give us so many excuses and stories. Could you imagine a championship being played in faraway Morocco, and you carry all the human beings that have nothing to do with that championship to that place?
All the money they will spend on those
people.
Can't they use
them all the dollars, put them in the hotel, they are eating with wake
tickets,
up, sleep,
everything, allowances also.
They are not contributing one kobo, whatever experience to that championship for Nigeria. They packed all of them, over 20 or whatever, to that place. Meanwhile, they can't pay the allowance, $10,000.
Of the girls that are working on the pitch.
People that are the reason they made the focus of the championship. How do you explain it? So the Nigerian Volleyball Federation, they actually put in their money where their mouth is, which should be whatever sponsorship they get, no matter how little, whatever money they are able to contribute amongst themselves as a board, they use it judiciously. They don't pack all human beings to that place, to any championship outside Nigeria. If you want to go, of course you can go, I mean, if you have the money. But nobody sponsors you from the federation. Nobody is, because it's in a third-term position, it packs people to go so that those people
pacify them to vote
feel
for him,
that,
right?
whatever, and then want to vote him. It's a pity, actually.
Well, we've been talking about beach volleyball coming up in Morocco. We have our team list there that we rolled out earlier on. 4 men, 4 women, flying high the flag of Nigeria, the likes of Bayemi Ogushino, Simon Hillary, Emenike Ezike, Uchenna Augustine, Albertina Francis, Happiness Wuchlang, Esther Mba, and Rafiat Mustafa. They will be there to represent the green, white, green color of Nigeria over there in Agada. Oh, we wish them the best as they compete in the competition. Africa, the 2022 African Beach Volleyball Championship for both men and women. That's their own AFCON and WAFCON. We want to see them winning the trophies. Now we move away from there. Let's quickly look at some stories trending in the world of transfer. Liverpool are considering a bid of £19.5 million from Juventus for Roberto Firmino. Well, Sadio Mane has gone to Bayern. Now Juventus is knocking at the door to get the Brazilian, and they offer £19.5 million. And now the Reds are looking at, should we take this or not?
Well, they may have to take. Firmino has not really given them so much, though.
But a fantastic player.
He's a good player. I can't take it away from him.
Humble player. You know why I said this? Firmino doesn't care much about scoring goals. I want to be the point man, but let me just work. Let's just win. Let's work together as a team and win. He has really sacrificed his career. Mostly when you look at most matches he played for Liverpool, where he makes sure Mo Salah gets the goal or Sadio Mane, whoever can get the goal. Firmino just plays football. He just plays things.
He just enjoys playing football.
Exactly.
However, his major work is to score. He plays mostly as number 9. Don't forget that. So his work is supposed to be scoring. Because of that, not taking that up at that apex level, that he should. That is why even his value dropped over time. And of course, He has not been able to stand out like Salah has, stood out, Mane and all.
Mane and
So,
all.
well, but by and large, what he has been able to do, his contributions has not, haven't gone unnoticed. And of course, his sense of team play, which is what football stands for, is exceptional. And of course, he can only be given a thumbs up, and he should move on in glory.
Well, but if you look at Juventus taking Firmino, yes, Dybala is gone. Although they are trying to do some business. They know what they found in Firmino. They know what they want to do. Looking at the fact that in Liverpool, yes, it may not be the outright striker, but he does the job. He does the dirty job and doesn't mind who scores. So in Italy, Juventus now, if you move to Juventus, is it likely that we'll see him, because we know that in Italy they are more defensive, so the goals might not be coming as even compared to England, and he's the kind of player that doesn't really mind about scoring. So are we going to be seeing dwindling of goals?
It depends on the team. He needs a team that the up front, they will mostly be playing that 4-3-3 or whatever formation. But at the up front, they are about three, from that left to right, then he will be at the center. So he needs a team that is cohesive at that level. He wouldn't need a team like, this man cannot function in Chelsea, for instance. He can't function, he may function in Man City to an extent, but a Chelsea, a Real Madrid, he may not really function that way. He can also function in Barcelona. Their style of play, like that, they move like
as
that,
a team.
Moving forward. When they are coming back, somehow they also do same. So I have not really studied Juventus pattern of play like that to understand if that team suits him, but you should look out for that.
You should look out for that. We're talking about Firmino, Robert Firmino, well, likely to join Juventus, although Liverpool are still considering that bid coming from the old lady Juventus, £19.5 million that they offer for the Brazilian striker. Now we talk about the Blues, Chelsea. Chelsea right now, they could block the sales of Cesar Azpilicueta if Barcelona stand on their way to sign Jules Koundé, or if they hijack Jules Koundé's deal. This is getting more very funny, because Chelsea wants Jules Koundé from Sevilla. Barcelona also wanted, although Chelsea has actually offered £55 million, and from the way it is, Barcelona are actually using their connection to want to score to this deal, and they need Azpilicueta from Chelsea. So Chelsea are ready. Okay, if you don't let us get Koundé, then there's no way you're going to get Azpilicueta.
It's a natural thing now. So how will it happen?
You want my player, and I want another player to represent that player.
I am blocking, so you can't get two at a time. I mean, you can't.
So that you go with your Koundé and leave this.
So they have to make a choice of who they prefer. It's just natural for Chelsea to do that.
But from the way it is, even though Barcelona knows that, well, this club that want to buy Cesar from needs Koundé, then why are they trying to do double at the same time? It's just very funny.
It's a Barcelona because of how they fed last season. They want to plug all the holes and, of course, get so much ready for both Champions League and, of course, La Liga, title. So they are looking at whoever they could get from the market.
Let's just go to the market and buy any player.
Buy any player that is available and get him. Just like Arsenal is also doing. I mean, looking at getting the thing that to block.
But to some extent, Arsenal have been able to get some of the players they've pursued actually worked out.
Yeah,
Jesus,
I'm happy for their signings.
Zichenko and all that. Their signings have been fantastic this season.
Look at what he did against Chelsea, that guy.
Although they should not jubilate.
well, somehow.
But that shows flashes of what they could do.
They could do. I mean, that team, if they maintain momentum of what they did about 2 days ago, I mean, they are going to have so much fun for the upcoming season that will start in a matter of days' time.
A lot of performance there coming from Arsenal as they were able to do well against Chelsea, shocking them. Well, that football is always a battle when the two London clubs meet, and it was a good one in their pre-season. Well, so right now, their coach is saying, well, do not celebrate yet. Let's just see as a friendly game. We just have to fine-tune ourselves. Although most of the signings they made this season have been fantastic, and Arsenal, the Gunners, are battle ready. As we take this story coming from them, they rejected a bid from Fulham Fulham bid £10 million for Ben Leno, and now Arsenal actually reject that particular deal. That's the story we are looking at, where Arsenal rejects £10 million for Ben Leno.
Yeah, you know, they also, as much as they are getting people to plug the holes that seem to be leaking, they are also not. They're also very careful in letting their good hands or legs leave, which is normal as well. So they want to, mix the people that are coming in newly and those that have been there, that have understood the philosophy of the current coach there, who had been in Man City. He watched that about 2 of the good players he got from Man City. I mean, I don't know whether what's that coach, Pep, allowed them to go to help his man, his former assistant, to grow, to have some things to smile with. Because this particular upcoming season, the board, they have already set a target, and of course, can be less than getting a Champions League slot.
That's for Arsenal.
Yes, for Arsenal, Arteta.
Okay, now for Fulham, they actually came with £7 million plus £3 million add-ons to get Ben Leno, totaling $10 million. And Arsenal are saying no. Could it be, well, maybe they needed more money?
Yeah, but with that more money, they want to up the price of Leno to also discourage them from coming, because sometimes a club could do that to keep their player. Even though the player is not up to what they are asking,
they will use that
to scare away any
potential buyers.
Yeah, so they just do that to make sure that that player doesn't go anywhere.
And you look at why the season is actually moving. We have Nigerians like Emmanuel Dennis being pursued by West Ham clubs here and there. Awuni is there in Nottingham Forest. But this season so far, I think it's high time. Maybe the Nigerian footballers, they've been playing well, but they need to up their game, because it's gone to those days where you see that by now we'll be having 2 or 3, 4 Nigerians playing among the topmost clubs, but it's not happening like before anymore.
Yeah, I think those days are coming by, because coming back again, because like even last season, a number of our players played in good clubs in top 5, 6 leagues in the world. I mean, how else do you explain? And that actually paid off for some of them as well. See, Volleyball is already in
Southampton.
I mean, in the arguably the best league in the world.
The other one that moves to Ajax, right?
Abandoning
Scottish League.
Whether they are supposed to play in the either is it Europa or so? They're supposed to play in the at the UEFA top level, the continent there. But he chose to come
to Southampton,
to Premier League, where the TV will show him more, and all the whatever lights he will show. Then the same thing with the other man that moved, Awoni, to Nottingham. He was to play in Europa, but he scuttled that to join Nottingham, that just came into the EPL.
So let's see what Nigerians will be doing next season, as they will be resuming soon. They want to be banging in those goals. We want to see them playing for the topmost clubs in Europe. That will be it on 360 Sport and Trust TV. Thanks for coming on the show, Ikena Okonkwo. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Adeni. It's good.
One. Good one. There is always business and fitness. What's that? That's sport. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.